Yes. Okay. So let's just start at the top. Tell us a little bit about the type of content that you're creating and the audience that you serve.
Yeah, so I have a podcast called the Empowered Adventurer Podcast. So it's about how outdoor challenges help us unleash our inner strength and live our best adventure-inspired life. So it's a combination of having telling my own stories of adventure, interviewing people of their different adventures from ultra marathons, triathlons, bike packing across Nepal, various things like that, and then to kind of day-to-day tips, insights, wellness, how we can breathing techniques, or just things that we can have experience inner peace in our day-to-day life. So actionable tips each week, as well as those longer inspiring episodes too.
This sounds so fun. Like so much fun. I love that you're doing this. I haven't heard this be a topic or something that is so just centered around adventure. So it sounds like a lot of fun, and I'm glad that we're talking about this today. So, what is like the most important thing that we can talk about and cover today? I have a few things that we filled out in the form that you submitted, and it was audience clarification and ways to better market your content. So of those, is there anything that stands out specifically?
Yeah, I think, and I remember I said market content, and I could not remember the other one. So I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm getting more clear on who my ideal client is. So we can talk about that, but I think I would like to focus a little bit more on the marketing too.
Yeah, go for it. So is there anything in particular that is like a big pain point that you have or something that you've been struggling with?
Well, I think part of it is just kind of I guess one question specifically. So it's growing the audience. So I've gotten better after delving into your podcast and information on that, like as far as like description and show notes and things of that nature, and learning how to write for SEO. So I'm, saying more than like, hey, go listen to the episode. I'm working on trying to have a little bit more engaging content, and these are like some highlights and takeaways. So that's getting easier. I'm sure I could still improve on engaging that, but I guess specifically, one thing I'm curious about is like, is it one thing on my list is like creating a Facebook group to have more like engagement from, or like being able to interact with audience and that sort of thing. I haven't quite gotten there yet, trying to do all the things and prioritize. I feel like I'm at the point where I can start devoting time to it, but I'm, to be honest, like not a huge, like, I don't love being on social media all the time. Like I like being in the outdoors and nature and that sort of thing. So I'm trying to balance and I guess prioritize like what is the best like next step to continue to get that message out and grow the audience, if that makes sense.
Oh, yes. This totally makes sense. And this is actually something that we covered earlier in another coaching call where, somebody was saying they were just getting started online. So it wasn't so much that she wasn't active on social. She was like, I'm trying to really balance. There's so many things I could be doing. So what should I prioritize and focus on? And I think that the place that we like kind of have to hit pause and stop and look at everything is, where do you actually want to be? Because if you're thinking about creating a Facebook group, like, is that really the type of audience that you want to have and the type of engagement? Like, do you like Facebook? Like, if you hate Facebook, don't create a Facebook group. Like, that's going to be my suggestion to you. I have love-hate relationships with Facebook as well as other forms of social media. So I totally understand that. But I do think what I have found works really well in our Facebook group that we have is it was something that's taken a long time. Like, it's not, hey, I'm just going to open this group and people of my ideal customers, my ideal clients are just going to flood in. It's taken several years to even grow my group to the size that it is now and to have that engagement. So it is a long game process. But do you have an email list that you use in your business or with your content?
I do. So I started like back in 2017, I started a blog just for fun. And so I've been working on kind of converting that into a website. So I do have, it's a small list, but I do have an email list and freebies and things that I'm working on, trying to market that on social media to grow that list. So I do have that outlet.
Yeah. Well, I think that that is, especially for what you do. I mean, I don't know. And I could be totally wrong in assuming what I think about when it comes to adventure. And you're right, people are doing things outside. And I know that, given everything that's going on in the world in the last few years, it's been really hard to do a lot of in person things and to really schedule them and make sure that they're actually going to happen. But I would imagine that your community, your audience is just like you, where they're like, I would rather be outside doing stuff. Even if I'm listening to I'm listening to my podcast outside. And so I would try to really keep that in mind as you grow your audience, and maybe just an email list where you can keep up with people and engage with, like, hey, reply back to me and let me know what you thought about this episode, or let me know what you thought about what we should talk about in the future. I feel like that could be a better way to nurture and engage your people in a one-to-one setting, and then really get that down. And then, like, once you have this good rapport, maybe you grow your list a little bit more. Then if you still feel like, I want to have this Facebook group or another type of community, you could launch it to your email list. The people that are already engaged, the people that are already replying back to you and responding to you. I feel like that feels a little bit more doable than committing to, tomorrow I have to start a Facebook group and then I have to show up in there and I have to, like, the pressure feels a little bit different. Do you feel that?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it feels, because I think that's why I've been dragging my feet